everyone. This is Module 7, Lesson 6, and today we are going to be talking about making predictions. Today's reading focus is making predictions. So what information in a text helps you to make and confirm predictions? Our learning target today, I can make predictions using genre, structure, and text features. Okay, so when you make a prediction in reading, you're making a guess about what's going to happen next in a text. And as you make predictions, you're actually giving your brain a place to put the information that you read. So you're sort of categorizing it, and doing this helps you to focus on what you're reading. Every text that you read has clues that can help you to make predictions. So today we're going to be detectives, and we're going to look for some of those clues. The genre, structure of a text, and the text features all can help you make predictions. So an easy way to think about these is to separate them into fiction and nonfiction. So when you think about a nonfiction text, you know that it is a text that's full of information on a topic. It has a lot of facts and it doesn't have any opinions. Usually nonfiction texts are broken into parts that are understood on their own. So that means that you could open up a nonfiction text pretty much to any chapter and be able to read it and understand even if you didn't read what came before it. So that is considered the structure, how this text is actually put together. Nonfiction texts also have things like diagrams, photographs, captions, they have sidebars. All of those are considered text features, and those help you to understand the text and allow you to make accurate predictions. Now, fiction texts. Fiction texts tell a story with a beginning, middle, and end. That's considered the structure, okay? How the story is actually set up. Fiction texts also have a main character. They have a plot, a setting. They usually have a theme, and there's generally some type of problem and solution. So all of these are features of the text. And fiction stories also sometimes have illustrations that accompany or go along with the text to help you understand it, and that's also a text feature. So because nonfiction texts and fiction texts are different, we naturally expect different things from different genres as we read. So once you've decided if your text is fiction or nonfiction, you can use the structure and the text features to help you. So let's look at an example of how exactly we would do that. This book, In the Days of King Adobe, is a folktale. So I know that folktales are fiction, and that means that right away I know that this book is going to have a main character, a plot, and a problem with a solution. Okay, so I also know that folktales include the beliefs and ideas of a culture and that they're meant to teach a lesson. So I'm going to think about that theme when I make my prediction. And lastly, I can use the text features. Since this is a fiction book, a common text feature I'm going to look for is the illustration. So you'll see on the front of the text, there's an illustration of an older woman, and it looks like she's working in a garden planting food. So I've read the title of the book and I'm thinking about the genre. I know it's fiction, and I'm going to try to make a prediction of what this book is going to be about. I have another illustration in the front of the book, and here it is again, this older woman, and she has all of her food now. So she has a big piece of ham, a pepper, garlic, what looks like an onion, or maybe it's a tomato. So now I am in a pretty good position to make a prediction about what this book is going to be about because I've gathered all of that evidence. I'm also going to use what I know about folktales and tricksters to make this prediction. So remember that we said that usually folktales teach a lesson. So I'm going to keep that in mind when I make my prediction. And I predict that this story is going to be about an old woman who lives in King Adobe's kingdom. And maybe she will try to help people by giving them food that she grows on her farm, but she will somehow teach them a lesson. So now, after I've made my prediction, I can read the text and see how my detective skills were to check if my prediction was correct. Here's a little chart for you to remind you of the steps to take when you're making a prediction. So before you even start reading, You're going to gather all of your evidence and clues and make a guess or predict what the text is going to be about. Find the evidence that's going to help you make a prediction. Use what you already know. Use the text features, use the genre, and the structure of the text. Think about it in terms of fiction versus nonfiction. So once you figure out if your text is fiction or nonfiction, then you can look at the natural features and structure of that type of text. And once you've gathered your evidence, you're ready to make your prediction. So you could say something like, I think that this is going to happen because, and then just fill in the blank. Then you're ready to read. So as you're reading, stop to think about your prediction and think to yourself, was my prediction correct? If it was, then you confirmed your prediction and you can keep on reading. But if it wasn't, which is totally fine, you can adjust your prediction or you could make a new one and continue to keep reading. To sum it up, let's look at what you should do to make a successful prediction. Okay, the first thing that you want to be able to say to yourself is, I wrote what I think will happen next. Then you want to check to make sure that you used information you already knew, like the genre, which helps you to know the text structure and features. I can support my prediction with evidence. This is important. As long as you can support your prediction with evidence, you are in a good spot because you are using all of the facts that you know to support your argument. Think of yourself as being like a lawyer. You have to support your prediction with facts, and that is going to help you so that your prediction makes sense. Okay, so that it actually relates back to the text and that it seems like it's a logical prediction. And then lastly, I can either confirm my prediction by reading the text or change it if it was incorrect. So you're going to read on and just think to yourself, was I correct? Or maybe I should change this prediction. Maybe I was so far off that I should make a new one. Okay, guys, I hope that helps. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you soon.